Welcome to the Farmer Johnson YouTube channel. Today is day 6 of our corn and soybean planting season. So far this season, we've had wonderful luck out of the weather where it's been sunny and almost perfect planting conditions every single day. One thing we haven't had very good luck out of though is our tractors, our equipment. Previously, 2 of our main tillage tractors broke down, where one of them even had to be hooked up to a wrecker and towed back to the shop. On today's episode, you guys are going to see how my planter behind me here tried breaking in half. We ended up having to get a professional welder out to the field and even a wrecker out here to hold it together while he welded it up. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this one. We'll get started. New 500 has been putting in some work on a field cultivator. Service truck on scene is never good. That's not good at all. Not good. Luckily, he's not here for me though. That's good, that's good. But bad news is, he's not here for the breakdown at all right now. We got other problems. My brother-in-law had to fold his planter up to get into a little tiny patch and do it. He made it into the patch just fine. Coming out of the patch though, I don't know if it's because he changed directions or what, or if he just hit a different spot in it that's wetter. But he's currently in a bad spot and the planter is like kind of leaning, and the one side tires aren't just like coming up out of the crossing, they're like digging into the ground, and it's looking bad. It's not looking good. The other side, is just wanting to dig. It's popping up.
Okay. Do not, keep coming, but do not fall in the hole with your tractor. Just stop right there for a minute.
Kind of washed through here, and this side just wouldn't pop up out of it. It was just wanting to dig in, as you can see. Our plan of attack right now is I think we're going to throw Wyatt down in the hole to kind of build a ramp with his head, and then Cody's going to drive the planter up over top of him.
Okay.
Sound good?
You didn't know, but Cody crossed, and there's nothing Cody can do.
Ended up not being so bad. Kind of just backed it up, kept shimmying it over, got it backed out, but still in the patch. So they're gonna drive over in there. There's a subdivision back here, and we might be able to cut some honeysuckle out of the way and bring the tractor out a different route, and then have Wyatt bring our dozer over here sometime and fix this crossing. You can handle that, right? 6 of plant, we had chicken pot pie, some mac and cheese, some fruit, and what else? Rolls with honey butter, and peach cobbler with ice cream. So, very good lunch. My wife made it. I can't say that the weather hasn't cooperated with us this spring. The weather has been beautiful. We are on 7 days now, 6 days now of just hard planting, and the weather's been awesome. But the equipment, that's a different story. Hold on a second. To a new field to plant it. You know, I'm happy, I'm excited, I'm ready to plant it. I start unfolding it, and I noticed the old planter kind of gives it one of them, you know, just, I was like, oh, that didn't look right. So I get out and look, can't find nothing. Can't find nothing. So I get back in, start folding the bag up, and it gives it that. So I'm like, all right, something's wrong. So I really get out and start looking. Really start looking at the tongue, because this is a tongue that was cracked right here. And we had the whole inside of this tongue plated, plug welded, fixed back up. Right here is where it was broken before. Well, it appears it's broken again, because you can't see a crack, right? You can see some metal shavings, some good stuff like that. But then there's this line here, and I'm like, that's weird that there's a diagonal line right here. There's kind of a diagonal line right here. This whole tube is broken off inside of here, somewhere in here, and there's nothing holding the whole planer attached other than these one little brace on each side. That's literally all that's holding the planer right now. Like, news is we have an entire tongue like this sitting at our shop ready to go in this planer. The bad news is it's already cracked all the way off. I don't know how we're getting it back to the shop, number one. And number two, it's the middle of planting season with great weather. Do we really want this planer down? I don't know. I've been saying all spring, man, I'm glad he's not here for me. He's here for me now. See, it's like broken behind this plug weld, because this should be here.
Kendall's planter's broken. That one to help? No. You'll get your ass busted for that. Huh?
Absolutely not. That's a good way to fit the boom.
That's gonna be the thumbnail.
Whoa.
We need to get this planer unfolded so we can weld on the tongue. Can't get it unfolded with them caster wheels facing the other way. So instead of going to the shop, throwing blocks and jacks all over the place, Bob from Danbury Towing is right down the road, and he just come out, picked it up. We spun them caster wheels around, got it aligned. So now we should be able to unfold the planer enough to get it to drop. Okay. Just let him park, tell him to fill the tractor up in the middle of the market. Inside is in a bind, so we can't pull.
Does Bob need help?
That back together right there. Cable's out on the truck. Running down to a snatch block. Hooked back in there. So, pinching the two pieces together. They're just too much in a bind right now for a piece of board as a wheel chock in the tractor to do. See what happens here.
in there. I like Phillips. This tube is broken inside there. Yeah. See, we put...
and I are out here just getting after it. This farm that we are planting right now, it does have some mustard weeds growing up all over the place. You can kind of see it over in here and over in here and over that way and over that way. Pretty much the whole field has mustards. This field did not get sprayed this fall, so that's why we got some weeds coming through. If you do a burn down in the fall time with a nice residual, it'll leave your ground pretty clear for come springtime. But since this didn't get anything done to it, we're doing a burn down to it right now while we're planting. He did it yesterday, but it's really easy if he has the burn down done in the fall time, because then he's not rushed as much to run around like crazy. Dad is working on getting a 40-foot bean planter going. It has not been going till today, because we didn't really have anyone to run it. We've been working ground, and we got people hauling 28, working ground, running planters, running sprayers, knifing and hydrants. They're gonna get ready and start side dressing as soon as the corn comes up. So very busy. The only reason we haven't had it running is because we had no one to run it. So today we got someone though. They're coming to the tail end of working ground, so it's not going to take as many people to keep up and work the ground from here on out. So got one extra person. He's going to hop in the 40-foot planter and plant with me and Cody. So, and then corn should be finished up here in the next couple days. I mean, I'm going to say 3 or 4 days, but that means they'll probably, I didn't drop my planter soon enough, but they'll probably go ahead and switch the other 2160 red planter over to beans, and he will help us plant beans too. See if we can get finished up here. Day 7 for lunch. Day 7 of planting, that is. Mom made like barbecue. I don't know what kind, but it was really good, and it was on sandwiches with some cheese. Like you put the cheese, you just made a barbecue sandwich with cheese. That's what it was, barbecue sandwich with cheese. And then she had baked beans, corn, not on the cob, off the cob, like cut off the cob. Fruit, I didn't get none of that. It was like kiwi and watermelon, and then actually I did eat a piece of kiwi. That was my first time ever, so it was kind of a big moment. Kind of proud of it. So, and then there was cookies and some kind of cake with blueberries on it for dessert. So very good lunch. Thanks, Mom. Bolton, so I kind of figured I'd hop out and talk about the hitch here a little bit. So this is the hitch that we had out of the planter. This is the hitch that we braced up to not break, and it broke. So right through here is where it was cracked before. From right in here all the way back to the back of the planter, we had that braced up, built up, and fixed. Case IH knew they had a problem with the hitch, so they hooked us up and sent a new one out. A heavier built hitch. It's supposed to be thicker metal, better built, whatever. It's not supposed to break. We did not get that hitch in until right before planting season. So we weren't gonna tear the planter down to nothing to slide a new hitch in that we thought we had totally repaired. But this hitch is underbuilt. What holds this whole tube all the way back to the planter, what holds it into this whole front part was a plug weld right here. One plug weld on each side held it into there. So it wasn't held tight enough inside of that deal, and it cracked off in there. So that's why when it broke back in here, or that's why we think it broke back in here. It just wasn't built heavy enough for one single plug weld on each side to hold it. So that's why we went ahead, welded all the way around, beefed it up even more. So hopefully now it should run the rest of the season without any problems. We will probably throw that heavier built hitch in after the season, but we're just trying to get through the season without totally tearing our planter down again. A planter is one of those items that you want it ready to plant before you go to the field. You don't want to be pulling the main beam that goes back through the planter. You don't want to be pulling that off a couple days before you head to the field. That's just asking for problems. So that's why we didn't go ahead and replace it right off the rip. We just didn't have the new one in time to put it in there. We had it welded up. We thought it was fixed up right, and the hitch proved us wrong. It's not really Case IH's fault that this right here broke as of right now, because we have the new hitch. So it's kind of our fault for not putting the new hitch in. But the reason we didn't put the new hitch in is we wanted our planter to plant in the field. Anyways, that's see that? You see that? That means we currently have 6 planters running. We got 5 60-footers, 3 of them planting corn, 2 of them planting beans, and we got 1 40-foot planter rolling, and it's planting beans. So 3 planters planting corn, 3 planters planting beans. We are cruising across the acres. It's going not awesome. We are kind of struggling now to keep seed out here. Really don't look pretty at all. Good thing those wheels are on the front, or I would have been right down in the ditch. I only travel the best and biggest roads. Day 8 of planting is coming to an end. We're heading home. It's just after midnight here. This is actually the best and least tired I've felt probably since day one of planting. I think my body has kind of gotten used to the staying up late again. Unless we're in busy season, I don't stay up late. Me and my wife usually go to bed at like 9 o'clock, 9:30. Like, we don't stay up late. So getting into busy season mode, the first couple days are rough staying up that late. But I think my body's finally getting used to it, which is a darn shame because they're calling for they're calling for some rain tonight. They're pretty positive it's gonna rain, so I don't know if that's gonna mean it's gonna rain or not. But if we get wet, then I might get back on my early sleep schedule, which would be a darn shame. But I think we're gonna call that the end of the video here. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.